Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. So this is my 2022 Ram TRX. I've had this truck for just under a year now, and in today's video I'm going to do an overview of all the modifications that I've done to this truck. So let's get right to it. So the very first modification I've done to my truck is I've replaced the stock mid resonators with these SLP resonators, and that just gives it a little bit of extra sound and tone. I think the exhaust sounds a bit better with these SLP resonators. So factory, this truck is pretty loud as it is, but with the SLP resonators, it changes the tone a little bit, and I just find the tone with the SLP resonators just sounds a bit better. So there's a shot of those SLP resonators, and it does wake up the sound of this truck. Not that it really needs it, but it does give it a little better tone and a little bit louder. And so that was the very first modification I've done, basically replacing the stock resonator. This truck does not come with mufflers. It's more of a resonator, so I replaced the stock resonator with SLPs, and it gives it a really, really nice sound. Speaking of exhaust, the other modification that I've done, I replaced the black factory tips with these polished tips from Big Boys. And so these were black before, and I got these chrome polished tips, which in my opinion makes it pop a lot better in the back. So I definitely do like the polished look better than the gloss black. I just like how it pops out, and it's the same size as factory, which is 5 inches, which is quite large. So replacing the tips, super easy. Basically they're clamped on, so you loosen the bolts, replace the tips. I went with the chrome tips. I just like the pop of color. I personally don't like any bit of chrome on a vehicle. The only exception is exhaust tips. And so that was it for my exhaust modifications. So replacing the mid resonators with these SLP resonators and changing out the exhaust tips in the back. So moving on, the next mod that I've done is I've replaced the bedside decals. So originally these were a matte black, and I replaced them with this red graphics. So I've got red here, and I've got it obviously on the other side here. I personally like the look of the black and red. I'm kind of going for the black and red theme of this truck, and this to me just pops much better than the factory black. I think it just gives the truck a more of a sporty appearance by changing this from black to red. And I installed this myself. I think it came out pretty good, and I think that little touch of color looks really nice on this truck with the black with a little bit of red accents. I also think the red matches the 6.2 liter emblem on the hood really nicely. So I added the red bedside graphics, and on the hood I added this red TRX decal on the hood here. I absolutely love how that came out. I think it gives the truck a much more sportier appearance. I installed this myself, so basically this goes inside the openings, and that was the hardest part, trying to get it to fit in, and it was really difficult to do. But overall I think it came out really nice. And that hood with that bit of color of the TRX, I think it looks really nice. I think this hood came out really nice. You got the 6.2 liter badge in red right there with that red TRX graphics on the hood. I think that looks really sharp. Okay, speaking of graphics, I've done one other change, and that's on the tailgate. So the other change I made is this TRX emblem. I put a red overlay on top, This comes black. I like the little bit of red. Kind of goes with the theme of the truck. So these are just overlays that I got on eBay. And I really like how that came out. I think what I might do later on is just replace this entire emblem altogether and make it just a solid red. But for now, I think I'm pretty happy with that came out. So standing back, it really makes that TRX much more prominent in the back. Speaking of emblems, as you can see, I've got the TRX dinosaur emblem that I added on with the red eye. I absolutely love this emblem. I think it just looks great on this truck. Matches the character of the truck, gives it a really nice sporty yet fun bit of detail on the truck. So I've got this on the tailgate right here. I've got 4 of them on each side of the truck. So I've got there on the tailgate. On the driver's side here, right in from the Ram, I've got the little cute dinosaur right there. Moving towards the front, I've got another one right here. And I just really like that little bit of detail with this dinosaur. I like the red eye. Kind of goes with the red theme. And it just looks really cool. You know, this truck is basically a Hellcat truck, but it doesn't have a Hellcat emblem. And I really like this emblem. I think it's fun, sporty, cute. I don't know if I'd say cute, but it's a nice touch of detail, I think. I really like that emblem. And then I've got the other one on the passenger door right here. So I got 4 of those on the truck. I'm planning to put another one inside the engine bay somewhere. Okay, finishing out some of the exterior mods. Tow hooks, painted those red. That's Plastidip. It's held out really well. And the color from the red Plastidip I think is perfect. I bought these covers from Tokes and I just found they were a little too bright. Kind of pinkish a little bit. I like how the Plastidip red is more of a deeper red. I think it matches the red graphics on the truck much better. And I think the red tow hooks look really nice on this truck. It goes with the red accents, gives it a nice pop of color. And so I painted the ones in the front as well as the ones in the back, just to make it all even. So it gives it a little bit of color there in the back. Kind of goes in with my red TRX emblem there. So that's it for the graphics. While I'm back here, I got this cover here. So I just noticed this piece ripped off, but this is my cover. Makes it look a lot more finished, I think, rather than having it just open like that. So that can go back in. The other mods that I've done, I've got this new tonneau cover from Cinetic USA. I did a video on this install, and I've had this tonneau cover for about 6 months now, and I think it's a great tonneau cover. I absolutely love it. It's a hard retractable, so you can lock it, which is really nice. I think it's rated for about 300 pounds or so. It slides really smooth. It's watertight. I've had no issues with any type of water coming in. It's very smooth. And makes your valuables in the truck bed very secure. And I think it looks really nice overall. It's got a really low profile. Comes in this satin black finish. Like I said, it's a low profile. I really like this tonneau cover a lot. I've been shopping around for a tonneau cover, and the ones that I've seen that are more well-known brands, they're about 2 times what I paid for this. I really like this tonneau cover. It's low profile. It looks great. Looks like it's great quality. Fits perfectly. And the price was very reasonable. Now, when I first bought this truck, my entire quarter panel here was like messed up pretty bad. I mean, you can see on these fender flares here how they're kind of beat up. So can you imagine how bad the paint was on this truck? So on both sides, I had paint chips everywhere. It looked absolutely awful. However, I did post a video on how I was able to fix this up, and it only cost me $5. So basically, I touched up some paint, let it dry, and polished it off, and now it looks like almost perfect. So you don't see those paint chips. Came out perfect. I got quotes to paint the fender. Dealership wanted $5,000 to paint both fenders, and I figured, well, I'll just give this a try. And really happy how it came out. It only cost me $5. And to me, I think it's like almost perfect. Like, I really can't tell. You would have to get like really up close to see the imperfections, but you can't really tell at all. And for $5, can't complain. And so after I had that painted, I installed this PPF here. So that PPF comes out to right here. So the entire front of this quarter panel has now have PPF. I also put PPF on the bottom rocker panels right here, going all the way to the front. I'm just amazed how nice this came out compared to how it looked before. Before it was really beat up, but now it actually looks really nice in my opinion. Like, you can't really tell. So one thing I might do later on is replace this fender flare. It is beat up a little bit. I might, instead of replacing it, I might try maybe sanding it down and apply some heat. I just want to take out some of things like this where it's kind of rough. I might as well replace this piece too. I can't imagine this piece being very expensive. So I'll give that a try. That might be one of my other modifications, is trying to make this flare look a little newer. Okay, let's open up the engine bay. So under the hood, I've done just 2 modifications so far. So for one, I replaced the factory air filters with these high performance K&N air filters. I don't know if I'd say I'd noticed a large performance improvement. It's hard to tell with over 700 horsepower, but I feel like the throttle response is a little better. Fuel mileage slightly better. But the best part of these air filters is it's a one-time purchase, so I just basically clean it, rinse it, put it back. And so that was the first modification I've done for the engine, is replacing the stock air filters with more of a high performance filter. And the other modification that I've done is the installation of an oil catch can right here. So this I got from eBay. It was very inexpensive, super easy install. So one goes to the intake manifold, the other one to the supercharger, and this hanger just just connects to this piece right here for one of my reservoirs, coolant reservoirs. Installation was very simple, straightforward. There's a bracket that connects to this existing bolt right here, and this was a perfect spot to put the oil catch can, and it works really well, catching some oil which otherwise would go into your intake manifold. It was very inexpensive. I think I got this for like $50 on eBay, and the quality I'd say is really good. Fitment was perfect, so I can't complain. And it's going to protect the longevity of my engine. So really nice, simple mod to do. Highly encourage you to look into doing oil catch can on your vehicle. So that's it for modifications under the hood. Let's go take a look in the inside. Okay, so I haven't done really anything crazy on the interior. It's pretty much everything here is stock for now. The only thing that I've changed is In this console here, I've added this organizer. So let me just take out some of this stuff here. The nice thing about this truck is the amount of storage space you get, and especially with this console. And I find I end up putting a lot of stuff here, like this, and it just kind of like moves around and doesn't look very nice and clean. And so I got this organizer off Amazon. It comes in this really nice black felt finish, which matches the factory like really close. And the fitment was pretty much perfect. It's got a cutout for your USB cable, and I think it does a really good job of making the inside a lot more organized. So I can put little things like my wallets in here, and things don't move around. There you go. That's a nice little touch, the interior. In terms of future, like I said, I haven't really done anything else on the inside. The one modification that I'm planning to do is replace the steering wheel with a carbon fiber steering wheel. Maybe add a red stripe up here to kind of tie the red theme of the truck together. I'm just looking for a steering wheel where the carbon fiber is going to match the carbon fiber that's already on the truck. So that's kind of important to me. So I'm going to, as soon as I find a steering wheel where the carbon fiber matches, and if I can get it heated with the silver stitching, I think I want to keep the silver stitching and avoid red stitching because I don't have any red on the inside. So that would be probably one of the modifications that I'm planning to do for the interior of my TRX. So that's it for the inside. Let's go back out, take another look at this TRX. I really like these amber lights on the hood scoop. I think that gives it a really nice aggressive look. The one thing that I'm looking to modify is to have these come on during the daytime as my daytime running lights. I just love how they look. I just wish they were on during the daytime. And so I'm looking for a way to wire this directly into my ignition. So as soon as the vehicle comes on, this will come on automatically. But I just love the styling of this truck. I think it just looks so badass, looks so aggressive, like in your face. I love how wide it is. Like you can literally see through those fenders. Like it's so wide. Everything about the styling on this truck, says this is a badass truck. Like it looks so mean. I just love the way this truck looks. I think this is, in my opinion, I may be biased, but I think this is the best looking truck on the market. Not only the best looking truck, I think it's the best sounding truck, and the performance really can't be beat on this truck. And on top of that, you've got an amazing interior. I would say this almost like a luxury car. You've got so much space. You've got the utility of a truck. So overall, this is one amazing piece of machinery that Ram built. This Ram TRX. And I feel blessed to own such an amazing truck. These LEDs are really nice too. Check out those fenders, how you can literally see right through it. That's kind of cool. And she's got wide hips. Like, look how much those quarter panels stick out. I feel like this truck doesn't need a whole lot of modifications. Like, it looks pretty awesome in stock form. All I've done is, put a little bit of color here and there. I don't think there really is much to do with this. I think this car just looks pretty amazing in its stock form. I was thinking of changing the wheels. I do like the style of the wheels quite a bit. I think the wheels look really nice on this truck. However, I wouldn't mind if they stick out just a little bit more. I don't think I want to go past the fenders, but it wouldn't hurt. I mean, These rims look really nice too. I think the styling is really nice. I just wish it had a slightly more aggressive offset. Maybe a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch. Those are some big tires. So I just applied some fluid film to the undercarriage of this truck a couple of weeks ago. So that's why it kind of looks shiny and black. That's the fluid film. I'm doing my best to avoid any rust on this truck, so I highly recommend fluid film. I've used it numerous times on my other vehicles, and it does a great job preventing any type of rust, and it just makes the underneath look really nice, clean. As you can see, there's like no rust on this truck at all. See, that's the fluid film right there. Absolutely no rust on this truck. I just love how much space there is on the inside of this Ram TRX. And you've got tons of storage with this truck. Also have storage inside the floor on both sides. Storage back of the seats. Yeah, it's just amazing just how much space you have inside these trucks. Anyways, there's one other mod that I've done to this truck that I haven't talked about yet, and that's regarding the security alarm system that I've installed. So I'll do another video where I go into more detail about the alarm system. But this particular alarm system is from IGLA. I feel like it's one of the best alarm systems to protect your Mopar vehicle. So like I said, I will do a more detailed video later on, but basically the way it works, in order to start this truck, I have to put in a code using either of the control functions here or here. And so you can create any code you want. Basically use these here to do any type of code that you want. So you can use that side or this side. And if you do not put in this code, this truck will not start. It's almost impossible to start this truck. And that just gives me a peace of mind having this truck parked for long periods of time on my driveway or wherever I am. And highly recommend, especially if you've got a Hellcat, any high value Mopar vehicle, they're kind of prone to theft. And I feel like you do need some sort of aftermarket alarm system, something that's really advanced. So the IGLA was about $1,000 installed, and I know that's a lot to pay for an alarm system, but to me, I feel like it was worth it because it gives me that peace of mind. Again, nothing is 100% foolproof. You know, thieves will always find a way, and this is just one of the steps that I've done to mitigate the risk of this car being stolen. So check out IGLA alarm systems to see how they work. But I think they work flawlessly, and it works with my remote start, which is really nice too. Just look at this hood. Just love how mean that hood looks. Got this awesome looking hood with this huge hood scoop with these amber lights. And you come down here and you see these big Ram letters that are hollowed out to let in more air. Got a really nice aggressive looking grille. And then we got the angry dinosaur right there. There's that skid plate. I know a lot of TRX owners, they replace that skid plate with something black. Whereas mine is kind of a dark gray. I kind of like this dark gray. I don't know. I just feel like it gives it a little bit of contrast. So I don't know if I'd replace it. I don't think it's worth it. So I kind of like the way it looks. And it's just a skid plate to me. I don't think it's worth replacing. I just can't get enough of this truck. I mean, it's a blast to drive. You got so much space on the inside. You can haul plywood, drywall, lumber, anything you need. It's great in the winter. It's a great luxury vehicle. Very comfortable to drive. The space, like, look at the amount of space in this truck. The interior is really nicely done. I think it's a beautiful interior. It's very nice. These seats are extra comfortable too. Good bolsters. The bolsters are really nice. The fabric feels really nice too. It's just really good, high quality. Just everything about this truck. I feel like everything on this truck is like overkill. Like the interior, man, they did such an awesome job with the layout, the choice of materials, the Alcantara, the carbon fiber, the leather, like this massive screen. Like the interior, I think is just awesome. And then you've got these awesome looks to go with it. I mean, like, look at this. Like, what a beast. And then you've got 702 horsepower and amazing sounding exhaust. I mean, what's not to love about this truck? So those are my mods. Who knows what other mods I'll do over the winter. I feel like performance-wise, I'm really happy with the performance. So there really isn't a whole lot to modify in this truck. Like, I think it just looks pretty awesome. Alright guys, I think that's going to do it for this one. So that was an overview of all the modifications that I've done to my Ram TRX. I hope you all found that interesting and informative, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Bye for now.